Hi, this is Gwen Peterson. I'm a certified health coach with Optavia, and I have been doing a lot of client systems checks this week after the holidays, and I realized this is not something I've really talked about on my YouTube channel. That I know as people are following my channel, they're looking for anything that's going to help them be successful. And today I saw a girl post on Facebook. It's January 7th, and she said, I've already failed on my New Year's resolution. What diet's going to work? And I was so sad how people are like keto, Atkins, Herbalife, isogenics, like they were just firing off all of these things. And after about 12 suggestions, my comment in there was, it's really interesting that people are feeling like her success is about the diet. If she doesn't work on her mindset, it doesn't matter if she does keto or Atkins or Herbalife or isogenics or all the different things people had mentioned, because the food is just the mechanism to get the weight off. But as you've heard in my other videos, if you don't fix this, you aren't going to get to your goal weight on any diet or any nutrition plan you do. And that's the key to success. So something that I have started doing, I've been coaching over 5.5 years almost now. And I've coached a lot of people. I've coached a lot of people that have reached their goal weight, and I've coached a lot of people that haven't made it past the first 4 weeks, because it all comes down to the mindset. And something I've been doing with all of my brand new clients is the minute that they order their food, I ask them if they are willing to spend the $10 on Amazon to shoot over to Audible to purchase and download the book called Never Binge Again. And the reason why I asked them to download it on Audible, even though they can get the free Kindle version on Amazon, or you can go to www.neverbingeagain.com and get it for free in writing, the reality is most of us are busy. Carving out 4.5 hours to read a book is not always going to happen. Where I know if somebody downloads it on Audible, and I say, listen to it when you're in the shower, listen to it when you're folding laundry, and listen to it every time you get in the car, they're going to get through that 4.5 hour book in a week and a half if they really want to do it. So when they order their food, I've been asking them to download the Audible book, Never Binge Again, and get through at least the first 5 chapters before their food arrives, so that they can really start my program or our program with me coaching them, not coming from a place of excitement, motivation, fear, all of the pieces because they don't know if it's going to work, to starting it based on what they want emotionally for themselves long-term with their health. It is very different to power through those first few weeks with excitement and motivation that isn't backed by anything emotionally. They just want to reach their goal and want to change their health, versus really understanding at an emotional level what their triggers are, what they shouldn't be trying to do, and how the food is just the mechanism to get there. But the mental part is where the rubber meets the road. And I loved, you know how you listen to something and you formulate something in your head that's not quite a thing. So I was listening to it the other day when I was in the car driving home from the grocery store. And the kitty corner to the grocery store is a bar. And it was like 5:30 at night, and the bar was full of cars. And a lot of them were like construction worker trucks. And I thought, here are all these men stopping at the bar to get their drinks, to try to decompress from their stressful day on their way home to their family. And this is their coping mechanism to their stressful day. And I was listening to this part in Never Binge Again, where he talks about things that you won't eat again because you emotionally aren't in a place where you would eat them. And where my brain went with that was, and you've heard this in my videos before, when I'm not in a good, strong emotional place in my health and wellness journey, going to a Mexican restaurant is torture, because those chips call my name. Now, right now in my house, I have in my pantry chips and homemade salsa. I don't even touch them, but there's something about the environment, smelling the chips that are freshly made and they're warm and the homemade salsa. There's something about that that I can't really focus on the conversation when there's chips and salsa in front of me. And when I go to the movie theaters, that popcorn, those two things popped up for me listening to Never Binge Again. And as I was driving past that bar, he said something that made my brain think, you know, you would never ever ask or expect a sober alcoholic to come to you to the bar and sit beside you while you are throwing back a few few drinks, right? You would never ever put a recovering alcoholic in that position to sit next to you in the bar, right? But why, if we know our trigger is the chips and salsa, would you go sit next to your husband at the bar or in front of the chips and salsa and hope that you have enough willpower not to eat the chips and salsa? Or go into the movie theater where the whole darn movie theater smells like popcorn and think you're going to be able to willpower it through? It's almost not possible when those are your triggers. Just like you'd never expect a heroin addict who's been clean for 2 years to sit next to somebody shooting up heroin and not expect them to be doing everything in their power, not to say, give me that needle. It's all the same exact thing. And so basically what you want to know is you get to figure out what your way to work through those is, and you won't figure them out unless you really dive into this Never Binge Again book, followed up by Dr. A's workbook, Dr. A's Habits of Health, and listening to the podcast that you can download on your phone or access them by going onto Optavia's YouTube channel and starting to listen to the Habits of Health call and the client support call. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys that analogy because it's something that's been coming up a lot for me in my client checks this week. And a lot of people, I just haven't actually explained that I asked them to listen to Never Binge Again and then ask them to listen to it again every single month, because there's something really funky that happens when you're about middle of the road in your journey and you're proud of yourself. You've been so strong. You've been so powerful on your journey. And then there's like a wedding reception out of town and you end up being proud of yourself that you're halfway through your journey. You've been solid for 8 weeks. And then you have a piece of wedding cake because you've done so awesome. And that wedding cake turns into you eating off plan the next day. And then you're like, well, it's Saturday. I'm going to be home on Monday. I'll eat good on Monday. And then Monday comes, Tuesday comes. And then Wednesday you eat something funky. And then you're like, shoot, well, dang it. Or I'm not in fat burn yet. So I'll just start over tomorrow. So then you start over on Thursday and you're halfway in. And so Friday you're solid. And you've eaten all 4 fuelings, and then it's time to go to dinner, and your husband says, let's go to the Mexican restaurant, and you do, and why wouldn't you eat the chips because you're only 4 fuelings in anyway, and now that darn piece of cake, because you told yourself you were strong enough, was the catalyst for this huge spiral. Just like that alcoholic, one drink is never one drink. A heroin addict, one time shooting up is never once. It turns into this huge spiral. We are no different. And so that's why listening to that Never Binge Again, you don't listen to it once. You listen to it once a month because your dialogue will change the closer you get to your goal weight, because we have this funky built-in mechanism where we're proud of ourselves. And most of us, when we scored a goal in soccer when we were 10 years old, we were rewarded with a Slurpee. Or when you got good grades, you got to choose the restaurant you went to. And so there's this rewards built into your coping mechanisms that as you are successful at something, you reward yourself with food. And so that's the thing that starts to come up the closer you get to your goal weight, is you give yourself a little too much grace, I guess I would say, and you end up going off plan because you thought you were strong enough and you weren't emotionally there. So just to kind of recap, I guess I would say that my clients that are actually getting all the way through the weight loss phase and through transition and maintenance and keeping it off, this Never Binge Again book, starting there before their food arrives, and then listening to it once a month. And then on neverbingeagain.com has a lot of really great tools and resources you can use with it. When you couple this with Dr. A's Habits of Health and the Living a Longer, Healthier Life workbook, and then all the different podcasts to keep your brain engaged, you will get to your goal weight and keep it off, because you will have been doing the work it takes to shift all that dialogue in your head. So I would love if you download Never Binge Again. If you will, once you get through those first 6 to 8 chapters, if you will comment below if this is kind of been the missing link for you, and how much more powerful that made Dr. A's Habits of Health and Living a Longer, Healthier Life workbook were for you. Because I've had a lot of clients that have done those and done really well on program. And then once they get to Never Binge Again, because it's a very different dialogue, and then they go back through Dr. A's workbook and Living a Longer, Healthier Life, it has a whole new meaning to them. So I would just love to get some feedback from you if you dive into Never Binge Again and how it spoke to you. Hope this helps you, because this has been the dialogue I've been having with my clients, new clients, old clients, for the last probably 4 months now. And I just realized I'd never really made a video about the importance of not only the book, Never Binge Again, but how to incorporate it into your program with Dr. A's Habits of Health and the Living a Longer, Healthier Life workbook, along with the podcast. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you are achieving the goals that you are wanting to. And please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And of course, like it if you like it, or don't like it if you don't like it. Or down arrow, thumbs down if this didn't speak to you. So hope you're having a great day and this spoke to you. Bye-bye.